Greetings. How is everybody doing? I have, of course, Nicole again on the line, and we want to answer another viewer's question. So in the Mystical Muse moment, the question, Nicole, hello, sis, I want to, greet you and make sure that you are
Hey.
But this is the question that we received. So I want us to, of course, have the conversation and answer it because maybe, it'll help someone else. But
right.
The question that a viewer asked is, how can she get and utilize the power of the present? She said that she's successful, she wants to stay successful, but she finds that she has a lot of times of hitting and missing, that at times she's, in the flow, at other times she's not in the flow, and she's, kind of bogged down. She said every time that she gets out of the flow, it's because something from her past pops up or someone tries to, make her feel bad about something she's done in the past, and she says she goes, to church, she goes to all of these spiritual people, trying to get some answers, and she's not getting any. And the people are telling her, things that she needs to do to, visualize, her her future, and basically she just needs to kind of let go and bury the past. But she says none of it is working. And I know that you and I have a very, very interesting take on what you hear this oftentimes in the church too, but they say it all the time. Now, of course, is the power of your visitation. So I know you and I have a different perspective on what the hour of your visitation is, and that's what I wanted us to talk about, because she's basically stuck. She's stuck in the past. She's stuck in visualizing about the future like all of these teachers tell her to do, and it's not manifesting in the now the way that she wants it to.
Yes. Well, first, I'm really even surprised that someone even asked this question. Like you started to say, in our counseling sessions and, in our mentor sessions, rather, we don't sugarcoat anything. And I know there are people that come to me in my mentor sessions and they want me to lie to them. They want me to tell them, yes, there's a man coming, for you next year. There's, are you going to get a red convertible in the next few months? But I tell people to focus on the now, because now is your hour of visitation. We talked about how the Christians talk about how the following year is going to be your year. We want to lose weight because, the summer is coming, or we want to get into our bathing suits or whatever it is. We always focus on the past, or we always focus on the future because, see, the now is uncomfortable. And as I started to say, that in my mentor sessions, I force people to stay in the now, but that is so uncomfortable for people because, when people think about their future, they think about, they're going to be perfect, they're going to have this, they're going to have that, because they feel that the now is so painful. But I tell you, Mystical Muse, that if you don't master the now, if you don't see yourself beautiful as you are now, if you don't like your size now, guess what? 2 months from now, you really won't like your size because you did not master what you have now. You see what I'm saying?
I understand. And you know what? I really think that this is some faulty positioning coming out of a lot of spiritual systems, especially even in the church, because I remember always being told or taught that God is going to do something. I remember it like it was yesterday, that God said you're going to do this, and God said you're going to get this. And I talk to, many women, mentor them, especially those that are in the church or deciding on coming out of the church, trying to live really the church within. And they say, well, I got all these promises from prophets. I got all these promises that people told me God was going to do. I got readings, from other people, from other spiritualists, just to find out what's going on. I want to know my future. See, this is why them psychics are really big. I want to know my future. And all of them are stuck when they come to me and say, well, I've been promised all of this stuff. I got this psychic reading. I got a prophet from the church to tell me this. And everything that they said, I'm believing God for. I know you heard it. I'm believing God for a husband. I'm believing God for my new house. I'm believing. They would just, and you know what? All I do, sis, sometimes it's, sometimes it's very disheartening because you hear these people living in the future. And that's why I really have a love-hate relationship with a lot of these spiritual teachers, because you can't live for the future. You just can't. You can plan for it. But to plan for it means, like you said, you have to live in the now. We want to disconnect from what's going on now so bad that we're just confused. We're a bunch of confused people, especially women. Honey, I tell them, and it may hurt some of their feelings, but, like you said, we don't sugarcoat, because I needed it myself. When I was in those same positions, believing for a better job, believing for all of these things to happen, I needed someone to tell me the truth, too. And the truth is, none of that stuff is coming. Let's just tell the truth. None of that stuff is coming because you haven't prepared yourself to receive it now. How are you going to receive something in the future when you don't know what it looks like now?
Now. So you don't have even the consciousness for it. Like you said, if you don't even know what it looks like now, how are you going to be prepared for it in the future? And, you always talk about that. You always talk about how money is now. Not next week we're going to try to make some money. If you need some money, you need to get online and make some money now. Money is always now. We were talking about how I had called this particular investment company late at night, and the stockbrokers answered the phone, and I was so blown away at the fact that at 11 o'clock at night, the stockbrokers on the phone, because money, why? Because money is now. It never stops. It never stops. See, that's the thing, too. People believe that we sort of go in and out of blessings, because that's what the Christians, that's what we talk about.
Yes.
God, He rains down the blessings in this season, and then in the next season He doesn't rain down those blessings. Well, you know what, Mystical Muse, while we're on it, the Mercedes-Benz company or the Mercedes-Benz dealership, they don't go anywhere. But they're always there. 365 days a year, Mercedes is always there.
Yes.
So what does that say? That we don't go in and out of blessings. It's not something just kind of controlling us, raining down blessings. It's our consciousness. What happens to us is that we get out of the now. And when we get out of the now, that's when we miss everything. You see what I'm saying? Those quote-unquote blessings or good fortune is always there. 365 days, always there. It's always there.
That's because we believe in seasons.
It's always there. It's the hour of visitation. The hour of visitation is now.
They believe in seasons. See, this is another faulty teaching. We all know that everything is cyclical. We know that. We are all on a cyclical, unfortunately, cycle. Things, grow in the spring. They, hibernate in the winter. We know that. But what people don't get is that those seasons are every day. There are certain hours of the day that, produce overflow. And then there's certain hours of the day that you have to hibernate, meaning go to sleep and get some rest. See, we're so abstract. We're in our thinking. We're so linear. As a matter of fact, I remember we've talked about this many times. We are so two-dimensional. We think we're three-dimensional, trying to focus on the fourth and fifth and get raptured out of here, but we are so two-dimensional. With us, it's like, okay, I have it now or I don't. God will bless me now or He'll bless me later. It's never now. It's never now. And I don't understand it, because the Christians, the spiritualists, all of them are big on certain ascended masters. Every religious system has an ascended master. Every one of them has somebody that, came to, quote unquote, teach the way or take the sins away from people. But they don't mirror what those ascended masters thought. They don't mirror at all. Not when they are teaching you, and these ascended masters are basically showing you how to manifest miracles. Miracles are just manifestations of the things you want in the now. So you can have these ascended masters teach you how to manifest things in the now, but then you can go to your spiritual system or your spiritual teacher and your spiritual reader, and they tell you that it's coming in the future. No wonder they're confused.
No wonder they're confused. Right. Your reader should be telling you, you need to be focusing on the now. Tomorrow, this is what you need to do. You see what I'm saying? See, girl, I don't even know if they're ready for that. I don't even know if mentally, psychologically, if they're ready for that. I really don't know, because I still have people coming to me, in my sessions, in my reading sessions, wanting me to, talk about the demons and the angels and the demons around them and the curses and all this kind of stuff. Sweetheart, we can't even get there. We can't even get there until we deal with what is in front of you right now. Because if you don't understand what's going on right now, you're certainly not going to understand anything in the fourth dimension or the fifth dimension. You're not even there yet. You're not even. I can't even. I'm about to go off on a wild tangent. I'm about to go off.
Well, I think the reason why the passion is there is because all of us have done it. We've been in the positions where we just so want things to change in our life. We so want, the manifested glory of whatever it is we're trying to receive. We want it. We want a better relationship. We want to be a better parent. We want, to be able to travel. We want, to be foundational in our careers. We want it. But because of the faulty teaching that we receive, we think that it's something that we have to attain, not knowing that it's something you already have. Let me share something. Now, I'll share this because I share this with my mentor students. There really is, and this is, some more advanced stuff, but I need to say it. There really is no such thing as far as creation to those that are walking in the now. When you walk in the now, you don't create anything. Everything has already been created that is ever going to be created. It is just true. It is just molecular. It is atomic. It is already the blueprint. The blueprint to create all things has already been thought of. It is already in divine conscious mind, period. Those that master the now, they don't create anything. What they do is mold, shape, maneuver, and receive. The only people that are still trying to create something are people that are still two-dimensional.
Yes.
They haven't gravitated to the third dimension yet. And like you said, they're trying to get to the fourth and fifth. That third dimensional living is a now living. And it is a now consciousness that basically says, I already have the things that I'm wanting. What I'm waiting on is, of course, the manifestation of it, but the maneuvering of it, the molding of it, the receiving of it, that's left. See, there's pillars of manifestation. We just want to say, I want the manifested thing. Nobody teaches on the science of reception or the science of molding or the science, that can be called, welding or alchemy, or even the science of maneuver. Because if you don't position yourself, you're not receiving it anyway.
You're not receiving it anyway. You're not receiving it anyway. And yesterday we talked about, Newton's first law, laws of motion, his first law that says, an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays at rest. And what most people, they're not even getting into motion because they're thinking that, some type of glory ball miracle is just about to, is going to happen in the future. So that it doesn't cause them to even get into motion, and they wonder why they don't have anything, violating Newton's first law.
Well, unfortunately, that's just not the way that we're taught. We're just not taught that, especially women. We're taught to, wait. And how many times have you heard it in the church? Those that wait upon the Lord. See, girl, we're getting a lot of mixed teachings. That's why in one instance people will say your season is now, and then in the next instance they'll say, well, your season is coming. No.
It's already here. It already exists. Like you said, everything that is supposed to be created is already in creation. So what are we waiting for? That's the bigger question.
I don't think we know. I really don't think we know. I think when we talk about manifestation or creation, we still see it as something outside of us. We haven't got to the point where we consciously receive that we are the creators. We may hear people say it. And, coming out of church, they tell you you're, made in the image and likeness of God. But they don't go into it. They'll say, well, you're a creator like God. But what is creation? And I'll say this, too. The way women create and the way men create outside of the now are two different things. And the way women and men receive, maneuver, and mold in the now is two different things, too. Men are on a different cycle than women. Both of them necessary, but one person is, outside. They maneuver and they structure outside. One person controls the chaos of the mind. So it's amazing, sis. It's amazing. But I'm glad that we answered that question, and I hope what we said, of course, helped the young lady, because as long as she is not seeing or being taught how to live in the now, how to be present, how to release those blocks from the past and release that worry of the future, it's unfortunate she's really not going to get exactly what she wants. It's unfortunate, but I understand it because I've been there, and you've been there too.
Yes. And that's what, both of us focus on in our mentorship is that, focusing on the now, dealing with the now, not the past, not the future, but focusing on the now, because when you master the now, you master your past and you master your future. I mean, that's just the truth.
Yep, that's the truth. All right, well, I know you're still giving the 5-minute free reading consultations. I am too. The information is in the description box of the video or the beginning or the end of the video, just in case anybody wants to reach out. I always love talking with you. I always, having our muse moment.
I love talking to you too.
and really sharing and asking and answering some of these questions people ask us all the time. And it is truly my intention to really help people see things a different way, because you really do have to get out of your conscious comfort zone. You really, really do.
Yes, this is your hour of visitation. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now. Now.